Hello, welcome back. I'm back today to film another video. I'm about to hit 1 month as a mother. A lot has happened since then. This has been probably the longest month of my life, but it's just been such an experience. There's highs, there's lows. You know, going into motherhood, many people say
things like, oh, prepare for this, prepare for that, you're not gonna get any sleep, and you gotta do this, don't do that.
I went in like mentally prepared for a lot of things. There are also things that I did not expect. A few things that I did not expect going into motherhood that nobody really prepared me for, or I just was not prepared for this. Maybe I heard it in passing, but I didn't really like fully grasp how hard this would be. Let's just dive right into it. Number one, this really blew my mind, is breastfeeding. And just breastfeeding, pumping, feeding the baby with like your milk in general. At the hospital, the day after I gave birth, I had a lactation specialist who kept coming in a few times in my room trying to get my attention, tell me about breastfeeding. There was always like something going on, a nurse in there checking my vitals. I got a lesson on the second day while I was still recovering, like how I need to breastfeed, how important it is to provide your baby with your own natural milk, with your breast milk. They call it liquid gold. There's a lot of antibodies in it that you're really encouraged to feed your baby. I'm like, okay, all right, yeah, I knew this was coming, but what she told me was,
you have to pump every 2 hours and for 15 to 20 minutes at a time.
And I'm like, oh, wow. Every 2 hours, that's pretty often. This was like a shocker, number one. I didn't expect that we had to do it so often. They gave me like these pumps that I started to use. Obviously milk didn't come out that quickly because I actually had a C-section. So she said that it's okay if milk is not coming out right away because your body actually didn't know that you had a baby yet because of your C-section. So it might take a few tries. I remember that my first try, one side wasn't producing any milk, but anyway, my point is that I just had no idea that breastfeeding, pumping takes up so much more of your time than you think. For all you expecting moms, first-time moms, breastfeeding, pumping is going to take a lot of planning. You gotta set aside time. It is going to be an, I don't want to say an inconvenience, but now when you go out, you gotta bring out your breast pump. Unless you're exclusively breastfeeding and nursing, then you just gotta think about, you gotta bring a cover up. Some people, maybe they are more free with that. I'm not quite there yet. Maybe by my third child, who knows. Yeah, my baby is actually, he's in the bassinet right now. So he's fussing a little. Every 2 hours is really not a long time. There's so much you have to do in between then. You have to feed your baby, and then after that you have to clean, change your baby. Each session you have to allocate 20-30 minutes to it. Sometimes I go up to 40 minutes, but truth be told, I'm not really consistent with it. I do like probably every 3-4 hours, and then I actually sleep through the night, 6-7 hour stretch at a time, and I do not wake up to do it because I'm just so tired. I applaud all the mothers who really stick to this schedule, wake up every couple hours to do it in the middle of the night. I need my sleep. But that could also be why my supply is not the best. It's not great. All right, I'm back. I had to give him his pacifier. Where was I? You pump 20-40 minutes at a time, and then you see that you didn't even produce that much. It kind of is very disappointing. That's why some women, they opt to just formula feed. It really helps with their mental health. I want to give my baby as much breast milk as possible. I just don't make as much right now, maybe because I'm a month in and I'm not as consistent with it as I should be, but hopefully I'll get better. And I just worry about when I have to go into work. I do work in an office job. There is a nursing room, but still meetings, sometimes you can't always pump when you have to stick to a schedule is really hard. Breastfeeding, pumping, nursing, all this is a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. It drains you mentally. I talked to my friend who's a mother who also just gave birth 2 days after me. We talk about how hard nursing, pumping, getting up every few hours to do it is. Just prepare yourself. Number 2 is kind of related to number 1. We go through formula so fast. People talk about, you know, you're gonna go through diapers really fast, you go through their clothes really fast, but yes, formula. Well, he is a growing baby and he is eating about 3 ounces every feeding now, every 2, 3, sometimes 4 hours at night. And formula is, there are coupons. Enfamil sent us coupons and a package when I was still pregnant, so that's really nice of them. I'm in marketing, so I get it. I try to give him breast milk, but I need to supplement formula. We go through formula very fast, and for those parents, I'm sure, who exclusively formula feeds, it's a lot. You're going to go through about 1 12-ounce can in a few days. And like, we buy formula and then we're like, oh my god, we're done, we gotta refill it. That's also why I wish I can produce more milk, so we can cut down on the formula use, and of course at the same time give him all the antibodies and nutrients that he can get from breast milk. Number 3 is how much washing and cleaning there is. We have about 6 to 8 bottles, baby bottles, that we rotate through, and there's so much cleaning in between. Every time he uses one, we have to rinse it, we wash it, and then we set it aside for sanitizing. Every day we sanitize twice a day. In between that, we keep washing after every use and rinsing it, setting it aside, and we have to make sure that they've been at least sanitized before we use it again. He feeds about 8 times a day. So it's a lot of cleaning and washing in between, and plus, and not just the bottles, we have to make sure that our hands are clean, everything we touch that goes to him is clean. Just be prepared for all the cleaning and washing. We just started giving him baths because his belly button, the cord fell out. We do his laundry at the same time that we do ours, so that's every 2 weeks. He changes out of his onesie at least 1 to 2 times a day. The 4th thing that sort of expected is that your relationship with your partner will become more pragmatic. You know, our relationship, I would say, is pretty good, but before the baby came, we would be very, you know, like a little flirty. It's good. We joke around with each other. Now that baby is here, it's definitely more about the baby. You ask each other questions like, when did you last feed the baby? How's the baby doing? Even though we kind of have an app to track all that. It's just that everything that you guys talk about will most likely be about the baby, what's best for the baby. Everything else, the romance, the flirtatiousness takes a back seat. And then plus, we now just take shifts to sleep. He will sleep first around 8 to 9 p.m. and he wakes up around early AMs, and I'm vice versa. So when I go to sleep, he should wake up very soon, shortly after, to look after the baby. And I'm sure a lot of other couples, they do similar things. They follow a schedule. That used to be one of nightly rituals. We go to bed together at the same time. We scroll on our phone and we kind of just talk about our day before we fall asleep. Now that won't really happen for the foreseeable few months. You know, these are all just sacrifices that we have to make for our baby, and we're happy to do it, but it's just one of those things. Here's another thing that's kind of out of left field, but I talked about a couple times on my previous videos, is that how hard it is to get the benefits, like the maternity leave benefits. Almost a month since I started my maternity leave, I got my disability. My plan approves up to 6 to 8 weeks, 6 if you're natural birth, and then 8 if you're C-section, and I'm C-section. They're saying that the first 7 days is an elimination period where you don't get paid. And I'm just like, what the hell is elimination period? What is all this like mumbo jumbo? It makes absolutely no sense. So even though I have 8 weeks disability, really I'm getting paid for 7 weeks, and I just can't get over it. It's just like one of those things that it makes absolutely no sense in insurance. Like, what is the point of this elimination period? It's just another excuse for them not to pay you for 1 week. Anyway, I digress, even though I was pretty annoyed when I found out. My plan, this disability plan with my current company, I could get potentially approved up to 13 weeks of disability. And then I found out that, oh, to get up to 13 weeks, you need proof from your physician that you really need this time off. We just gave birth, we need to heal. And I told my doctor when I went to visit, and she's like, yeah, you definitely, like 8 weeks is not enough. You need like 13 weeks. So she said that she will provide the documentation to get the extension to 13 weeks. But it's just, these companies, they try so hard to not pay you. At least that's my feeling. Like, these insurance companies, even though you pay into them for years, when it comes time that for you to actually cash in, use the benefits, they will try their best to not pay you out. I get it. You're in the business of profit, but we just want to be able to use our benefits. Just the whole process was complicated with my company, disability, and then with paid family leave, which are two different things, by the way. Disability comes first, and then paid family leave kicks in. Paid family leave is really not that much money. All in all, I don't like how confusing they make it, and they make it so hard for you to get the money that you need. 1 month has already flown by, and I'm gonna have another 2 more months, and I know that it's going to fly by. I can't even think about when we have to go back to work and we have to leave our baby. You know, that's just the reality of where we live, and that's we live in New York. But thank goodness I could kind of work from home. So the next thing that I was not really prepared for is how much work now it is to go out with the baby. We have to pack the diaper bag, everything we need to feed him, which is bottles, formula, enough diapers, wipes, everything. Well, now we kind of have the system. The diaper bag is pretty much always ready to go. We just have to replenish the diapers, fill up the formula, the full bottles, but otherwise it's almost all good to go. We have to carry the stroller. There's a lot of lugging, a lot of things to carry. And we have to time it that it's right after he finishes eating and then changing diaper, so that when we go out, we can prolong the time that we have to feed him. Hopefully he's also napping when we're commuting. Obviously we follow the baby's schedule, and then we have to pack everything that he needs. This goes into my last thing that I was not expecting. I did not drink the whole entire time I was pregnant, but I had this idea in my head that right after I give birth, even at the hospital, I'm going to pop champagne and celebrate. But like I said, it's been 1 month and I have not had a sip of alcohol, mainly because, well, I'm not hanging out with friends. There's no point in me drinking. I'm just at home taking care of baby. I'm not somebody that likes to just drink by themselves at home. Is it even safe to drink while I'm breastfeeding? And there's a lot of mixed opinions out there, but to be safe, I should not drink. When I do decide to drink, I will pump right before I plan to do so, and then wait at least 2 to 3 hours until I do pump again and feed it to the baby, because there might be alcohol content in the milk and you don't want to feed that to your baby. Like, there's all these rules that, you know, you pump and dump the milk. I'm actually still not very clear about that. I usually pump 3 hours later anyway. All right, you know what? So I'm feeding my baby right now because he woke up, and I'm just gonna finish right here. But the weather is not looking really great right now. That kind of wraps it up for this video of what I did not expect to happen being a new parent, new mom. For all you new parents out there, I'm sure you will have your own lists, and this is mine, but just know that we're all doing the best that we can. All right, so thank you for watching, and I'm gonna continue feeding my baby. Thanks for watching. Bye.